Hi there, this is Charlie Destries. How are you? Thanks so much for visiting my site. And today we're going to be talking about how to break into an account. And the account that we're going to kind of use as a straw man is Biogen in Boston. So let's pretend that you're working for a company with a very hot technology. And that technology absolutely has to get into Biogen. Now, it could be that your company's a couple of years old, you've had some placements around the country, but no luck at Biogen, and it's kind of important because of their company profile and so forth. So what do? How do you break into that account? Well, most salespeople today depend on leads. 95% depend on a lead coming in and then their follow-up on that lead. How do you break that cycle? How do you get into a place where you just don't have that lead? Well, a couple of things to work on here. Number one is your networks. And again, a place that, myself included, when I was younger, I did not use this, but your network is so important. First network, who do you work for? You work for a company, there's probably a sales manager, a vice president of sales and marketing, somebody who's involved in finance, manufacturing, you've got a CEO, a CFO, you've probably got a board of directors. All those people have been around the block a few times. They've been connected with companies that have probably had people, salespeople or finance people or manufacturing people in Biogen at one point or another. So you call up the board of directors. You call up somebody on the board, and if you're with a small company, by the way, this is simple to do. And you say, look, Joe, do you know anybody at Biogen in your experience? Nope, sorry, great. Talk to the CEO, talk to the vice president, talk to the sales manager. Pick up the phone and call. Don't ask for permission, just go out there and make the phone call. Most people who are successful in anything in life don't necessarily follow a protocol. That's not to say that you should insult anyone or do something that's crossing a particular line, but for goodness sake, if you're trying to create business, that's what you're trying to do. The people that are in your corporation, the vice presidents, the CEOs, the board, they work for you. Newsflash, they work for you. You need to use them, and that's why you pick up the phone and call them. Who do you know at Biogen? Let's say nothing's going on there. What's your other network? Well, who did you work for in the past? What other salespeople are in the New England territory? Who else do you know that might be selling a complementary technology to Biogen? Let's say Kathy Williams is a sales rep who sells some reagent that is in the life sciences area, and they contact Biogen. They have great business at Biogen. You call Kathy because you happen to know her. You stood next to her at a booth in a trade show 6 months ago. Kathy, who do you know at Biogen? I need to break in. She's probably going to tell you, because one day she's going to need you, right? It's quid pro quo. So she's going to say, boy, if I were you, I'd call Dr. Singh. Dr. Singh's bought so much stuff from me. I mean, he'd really help you. You call Dr. Singh. Dr. Singh is going to say, wow, sure. I mean, Dr. Singh respects Kathy. He's going to help Kathy every way he can. So he's going to tell you, you know what, if I were you, I'd call Dr. Chen. He seems like the right person with the product you have. You have an in suddenly in Biogen, big time. You call Dr. Chen recognizes Dr. Singh's name. He's going to give you the time of day because he respects Dr. Singh. Dr. Chen is going to lead you in the door. But what happens if you don't have that network, if Kathy isn't doing business at Biogen? You go to the website. Number 3, you figure out who's in charge of Biogen, the CEO, the boards of directors, the CSO, the CTO, the CFO, the vice president of clinical development, the vice president of technological advancement, the vice president of knowledge, the VP of anything. Who the hell knows? The point is, you match your stuff to the title. And then you call the main number at Biogen and you say, hey, I want to talk to Dr. Gadoodleputty. Dr. Gadoodleputty is the person who you picked on the website, who's probably the person you need to talk to. Maybe it's the CSO. Well, most likely the receptionist, being that you're calling a very high-end person at the company, is going to say, well, what's your name and what is this all about? Hey, if you're not drunk and you're credible, you're going to be able to get past that first barrier. And so he's going to pass you on to Dr. Gadoodleputty's office. When you reach that office, you're not going to reach Dr. Gadoodleputty. You're going to reach that person's executive assistant, man or woman, and that executive assistant, by the way, is very well educated, articulate, they know technology, they know people, they know their boss. Their job is to screen and also to look for opportunities. Don't get me wrong. So if you have an opportunity that's hot for them, you're going to say, hey, and you're going to say, what's your name? They're going to say, Thomas Smith. Thomas, I've got a great technology I think your boss will be interested in. Can I send you an email with this technology to have you evaluate whether or not it's appropriate for Dr. Gadulapati? And they're going to say, absolutely. Now, what did you just do? You included them in your plan. You gave them the power. You helped them with their job. You stroked their ego. You recognize that they're a capable person. What do most salespeople do? Well, can I leave a message for Dr. Gadulapati? Wrong. You work with that executive assistant. They're God. And what will happen is this. They'll read the email. They're going to evaluate it because they're very capable. They're going to let you know, hey, you know what? I think you should be in touch with Dr. Gravis. Dr. Gravis runs that whole area that you're in. And I forwarded your email to Dr. Gravis. Thomas Smith is going to give you the phone number, the email address to Dr. Gravis. And now you have another referral. You call Dr. Gravis and you say, excuse me, but Dr. Gravis, Dr. Gadulapati's office just referred me to you. Not Thomas Smith. Dr. Gadulapati's office just referred me to you. Pretty cool, right? Dr. Gravis is going to say, oh, okay, great. Yeah, sure, let's talk. You have an in. So whether you have a lead, a network within your company, somebody outside your company, people you worked with in the past, or you go from the website, you can break into an account. It's wonderful. So this is part one of a series of videos that will teach you how to break in, how to create your own leads, how to use other tools to break into accounts. This is Charlie Destries. Really enjoyed it. Keep